This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per top.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 unit sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
This is episode 692. It is brand new for you guys this morning. Be sure to tune in every morning. Tomorrow morning, I talk to Victor Levitin. He breaks down how to 3 times your revenue in under 8 months. He did it himself, going from 25K to 85K fast.
Good morning, everybody. My guest this morning is John Ferrara. He's been recognized for pioneering innovation in the customer management category for many, many years. Prior to founding Nimble, which we're going to talk about today, he was the creator and co-founder of the award-winning customer management product Goldmine. In 1999, Goldmine got acquired by Front Range, and he left to pursue other interests. During those years, he continued to watch the CRM, that's the customer relationship market or management market, grow. He saw that most of the CRMs in the industry were serving small businesses moved up market. They became way more expensive and complex, and they just fell by the wayside, leaving the market totally underserved. It was at that point in time that he decided to create the next generation CRM product for small businesses called Nimble. John, are you ready to take us to the top?
I was born ready. Let's go.
Awesome, brother. Okay, so we had you on last time, and I just want to reference that episode quickly if people want more background. That was episode 643 at nathanlatka.com/the top 643. And John, I'm going to quickly hit these numbers and then move into other facets of your story. So John shared on that show they have about 10,000 paying customers, paying on average, an average ARPU, which is monthly, of $20. So truly an SMB product, doing, again, somewhere around $200,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Healthy churn for the SMB space at 3% monthly. That's gross customer churn, not net negative revenue churn. They spend about $5 on customer acquisition costs, but they weren't doing a lot of paid acquisition at the time. They have a lifetime value of somewhere around $600. Their team is 25 people, based between Santa Monica and Ukraine. Again, all small business market, founded in 2012. At that point, they'd raised $3 million. John, about accurate?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so update us. Where are you now? Have you raised more capital?
So what we've recently done is we closed a round of $9 million, and we're going to use that to scale what's working today and start investing in other areas of our business that can help us reach more eyeballs, put more eyes in the top of the funnel.
You've mastered kind of acquiring the small business customer, which is difficult. That's not easy. How are you acquiring these small businesses at such a large scale?
Well, ultimately, it's the exact same way that we scaled Goldmine, which essentially was Outlook and Salesforce combined in its day. So back in the day, there was no Outlook, there was no Salesforce. Goldmine was the thing that everybody in the company lived in. So I think the biggest problem with CRM today is that it's only sales and marketing people that use it, but ultimately everybody in your company should be using a relationship platform for the whole business, because everybody in the company touches the customer. And the way we scaled Goldmine is, imagine this: 2 guys in an apartment in Canoga Park, that's a suburb of Los Angeles, who just created the world's first workable business sales and marketing relationship tool. Nobody even knows they need that thing. How do you sell something people don't know they need and you have no money to advertise? What we did is we cold called every Novell reseller in the country. And Novell resellers essentially sold the network to that small business, and we got them to use it. People sell what they know, and they know what they use. So they started to use it. They started to recommend it and resell it. And each one had sold 1,000 networks to all these small businesses. So we instantly had $50,000 a month in recurring revenue. Fast forward to today, when we started Nimble 5 years ago, nobody knew that social was going to be the new way we all do business. And so when we built the first social relationship platform, the first social sales and marketing system, we had to go build that market. And so what we did is we went after the influence of our core customer in and around the areas of promise of our product. And that's basically thought leaders in sales, marketing, and social media. And what we did is we started to share their content, which attracted people who wanted to learn how to be better, smarter, faster at social sales and marketing. And we started building relationships with those influencers. So we were early pioneer of influencer marketing, and that generates our eyeballs as well as generates those people into users and evangelists of Nimble. So that combined, we got our monthly recurring unique users to our website at almost 100,000 uniques per month with zero marketing spend. And that's why our CAC is so low.
So you've raised capital. I imagine one of the questions at those meetings was, hey, John, how are we going to spend this money to acquire new customers? What was your answer?
Well, I believe that as you start scaling the way you're touching the customer, you need to touch them in multiple different ways. So we're really good at generating those eyeballs through influencer marketing and guerrilla PR, getting people to talk about the platform.
How do you find the influencer to get to market for you, and how do you pay them?
You don't pay them.
How do you do it?
So what you do is you identify the key influencer of your core constituency in and around the areas of promise of your product. So thought leaders that are inspirational in and around the areas of functionality of your products or services, and you begin to share their content and then engage with them when they respond. But you don't engage with them and say, hey, this is who I am and this is what our product is. You find ways to add value to that person, and ultimately that person becomes a friend, a user, and a recommender of your platform if you do it properly. And so we're really good at generating those eyeballs through influencer marketing and guerrilla PR, helping writers and bloggers tell stories about how you be better, smarter, faster at social sales and marketing, include Nimble. But now what we're going to do is we're going to begin experimenting with some spend on eyeballs through some ad spend. But I'm not a big believer in going to a rat hole of click spend with people. I believe there's other ways to get access to the customer. So what we're going to do is we're going to replicate a strategy that we did at Goldmine by partnering with people like Microsoft and Google to get their VARs to use Nimble and then start recommending it. So we just signed a deal.
Guys, it's value-added resellers. So folks already selling those products.
That's right. And so we just signed a deal with Microsoft where they became a reseller of Nimble. Microsoft has started to resell Nimble with Outlook through their VARs, and they're going to gift their VARs Nimble so that their VARs can be better, smarter, faster at sales and marketing with Nimble and Office 365 combined. And I believe that the first thing you do as a business is you get email. In the old days, it was Pop and IMAP. Today, it's Office 365 and Google Apps for Work, but they're not good contact managers and they're not good at sales and market automation. So Nimble on top of Office 365 and Google Apps for Work is the operating system of a business. And what we're doing is we're partnering with Google and Microsoft to scale and help their partners become more nimble and then help their customers become more nimble.
So if Microsoft brings you a new, I'm sure they're doing much more volume, but they're bringing you one new $20 per month customer, what of that revenue goes to them?
Sure. So Microsoft currently is passing through all that revenue to the VARs. So Microsoft's not actually getting a margin on Nimble.
Okay.
So the VARs are getting that margin. And so ultimately what's happening is that the VARs make the margin on the monthly recurring revenue.
Which is what? What do they keep?
About 20%.
Okay, got it. So they're going to keep $4 of the 20 and you're going to keep 16. Right.
But the thing is that the average revenue per customer today is actually higher than the $20 that
what is
we
it
talked
now?
about before. So it's actually closer to $30 today, and we see it continuing to grow higher. But the key thing that the VARs are going to benefit by recommending Nimble is that if you can help a business person solve their sales and marketing needs, you then open yourself up to all the other functionality and services that you could be providing to that customer. And Nimble is a Trojan horse into businesses because every business struggles with sales and marketing and relationship management. And if you could solve that problem, what you're doing is you're talking to the decision maker of the company, because typically the person making the decision on Nimble is the owner, the CEO, or the manager of the company.
So just to be clear, at a $30 ARPU now, you've increased it. These VARs are keeping anywhere between, call it $4 and $8 kind of per plan. Is that recurring every month they keep that in perpetuity?
Yes. Okay. And we just rolled out with this funding, we're rolling out new products, pricing, and positioning where Nimble is more than just a CRM. It essentially blends social sales and marketing, where instead of you having to go out and buy, let's say, MailChimp, Salesforce, Yesware, and Inside View or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have to buy all these tools in the sales and marketing technology stack in order to arm your sales and marketing team members. And I think it's too costly and complex. So Nimble's rolling out market automation add-on, as well as $25 and $45 per seat pricing, which will help us to significantly increase the average revenue per account as we scale up the number of users that are using us in the accounts.
And so what are you at now? We just finished out March. What was monthly recurring revenue in March 2017?
So it's about $225,000.
Okay, got it. So growing, that's nice, because that was about 200 just 2 months ago. So yeah. Good growth. And how many are you at 11,000 customers yet, or still around 10,000?
It's about 10,500.
10,500. Okay, awesome. And then, so 12 million total, and you just did 9 between our last interview, and before that you did 3. So 9 plus 3 is 12. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then talk to me in terms of kind of like revenue goal. In 2016, what'd you do? About 2 million, 2.1, something like that?
We basically almost doubled this year.
Okay. So is that right? So let me actually try and put a number on that. So you did about 2 million last year. You want to do 4 million this year. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. All right, good. And what is the, in terms of, I mean, so one of the things that I think is really smart, a lesson I want to pull out for my audience, I mean, you do have a customer acquisition cost. You've just de-risked it because it's a margin on the sale. So you're not hoping that that Google ad spend click is going to drive a customer. You're just incentivizing a VAR with a $6, you know, they keep it for themselves. So you do have cost of goods sold there, but you get, I mean, that payback period for you is instant because it's just part of it's built into your margin.
Right. But the thing is we're not relying on the VARs to increase our revenue. It's going to be a long-term strategy to invest in those VARs where we can help them be better at sales and marketing and social media, and then they can start recommending it. But we're getting immediate payback on some of the biz dev relationships that we're doing today. Microsoft has bundled Nimble inside of Outlook Mobile,
okay,
and Office 365 and Outlook Desktop. And there's over 50 million Outlook Mobile users and over 100 million Office 365 users.
Now,
and
John, that's Microsoft passing that directly. There's no VAR involved there. So is that free acquisition for you?
It is.
Come on, it sounds too good to be true. Why do they do it?
Because what we're doing is we're helping their Office 365 and Outlook customers be better at relationship management and making the product more sticky.
How'd you win that, though? Like, because you have Hatchbuck, Propeller CRM, Pipedrive, Close, Batchbook, Contactually, Prosperworks, Cirrus Insight, Yesware, Entreport. I could go on and on. How did you win that deal? Relationships.
Ultimately, in the end, if you can identify the right people at the company and find ways to add value to their initiative. So in any business relationship, what you want to know is, how is that person measured? What does success look like for that person? And for the Office 365 product people, they get incentivized by driving API usage and CPU cycles on Office 365. And so if we can make those products more sticky, then we're benefiting them. And right now today, when you open up Office 365 or Google Apps for Work, now called G Suite, they don't have a good contact manager. They don't have Outlook. They don't have, let alone Goldmine, the sales and marketing automation that you need. And so today what Nimble does is it's a free plugin into Office 365 and Outlook Mobile and Outlook Desktop that essentially requires no login, no account creation, and it gives you instant insights on people and companies. And all you got to do is add it to your Office 365, and we're rolling that out for Google as well.
So that's free. They're not paying $30 a month for that.
That's right. And so it's kind of like Rapportive on steroids, right? Or HubSpot Sidekick or HubSpot Sale.
So how do you move them, though, into a paid plan?
Okay. So what happens is when you hit a button and open up an email, you can Nimble that person and find out who they are and what their business is about. But you can only do that a limited number of times per day. And we're going to give you open and click on your emails, but you can only get a certain amount of those per month. And so for the business people that actually benefit from those clicks and opens and that insights on people and companies, what we find is that they then convert into a trial account into the Nimble system. And today, a visitor to our website, we're converting at 5% to trial. But on these Outlook mobile and Office 365 integrations, we're converting at double that rate, at 10% to trial, which is amazing.
Great. Let me ask you another question, because I just named a bunch of them. This is a very fragmented market, and I've had all these guys on the show. So I want to throw out some benchmarks, right? So Hatchbuck, Hatchbuck with Don Brecken as a CEO, they've raised $5 million, did about $2 million in 2016 last year revenue. Their ARPU is about $200. They're doing about $200,000 a monthly recurring revenue. So very similar, John, to where you're at, but at about 10 times the monthly ARPU, the price point. You've got Pipedrive with Timo. They just raised a bunch of money. They're doing about a little over $1 million per month in MRR. Then you've got Close.io with Stelly FD. They've raised 1.2 million. They're doing over $200,000 in MRR. Then you've got like a Contactually, which is Vive Band up there in Washington, D.C., is really focused on the realtor market. They've raised $13 million, doing about $700,000 a monthly recurring revenue. Have you thought ever, one, about doing a roll-up strategy of all these guys? And if not that, how do you beat them?
Well, ultimately, I think that in a fragmented market, what you need to be able to do is get top of mind with your customers, as well as their influencers, as well as the business products that those people use. And ultimately, if you can become the product that their technology reseller recommends, that the influencer and the bloggers recommend, that the manufacturers like Microsoft and Google recommend, that ultimately you can stay top of mind and get ahead of the pack. And I think it's one of the reasons why we continue to be rated #1 in most of the reviews and publications like G2 Crowd, but not just in the CRM category, but also in the business intelligence and sales enablement category. Because ultimately, I think that people don't want to have to buy 5 different tools in order to manage relationships and sales and marketing in their company. And I think that by providing that type of functionality and building a brand that's bigger than life, that will continue to be in the top 3. And if you can be in the top 3 in $1 billion market, ultimately you win.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Every one of these guys that I've spoken with, they have mastered some kind of distribution channel. And I think the audience has heard kind of what you've mastered, which is impressive. Then you look at a company like Cirrus Insights, they have crushed being #1 in the Salesforce App Exchange. Like, that is their thing. That's how they've gotten all their growth. And so I think it's an important lesson, like in an area where this is why people say execution's everything. You could argue that all these are a CRM. Now, John will disagree and say we do X, Y, and Z different than everybody else, but in general, they're all CRMs, right? The way you win is by executing these amazing distribution deals like what John has articulated. And so John, congratulations. That's exciting. Last question here before we wrap up. Your team size last time we spoke was about 25 people. What are you at now?
We're currently at 32.
30. So you're hiring what, 2-3 folks per month?
Yeah.
Yeah. All based. Yeah. Where are you guys based again?
Well, currently we're based in Santa Monica as well as in Ukraine, but we're starting to add some additional team members in a few other states.
Got it. And you mentioned you just did that $9 million round. You're currently at an ARR, run rate of somewhere around, 2.6, 2.7, maybe $3 million. How did you think about valuation on that round?
Well, I think that you don't go into a raise with a particular value in mind. Ultimately, what you do is you let the market sort of determine that. It was essentially a fair raise as far as what we were looking for at the time.
And this was your Series A or Series B?
It was a Series A.
Series A. Okay, so I mean, industry would say you're giving up somewhere between 15 and 25% of your business in a Series A. Were you in that range?
Lower.
You were lower. Okay, and was it more of a strategic partner like a Microsoft or more a typical VC?
No, we talked to a number of different VCs, and what I liked about this particular deal was that we're bringing in a seasoned CEO that had recently sold their company, and we're taking that money and reinvesting it in new companies. And so I really believe that they're able to add a lot of value as we scale. Yeah,
and John, I just have to say, I mean, this is shocking to me in an impressive way. It highlights your ability to negotiate. But if you gave up less than 15% in a Series A and you raised $9 million, let's say you gave up 10%, so that's a $90 million post-money valuation on a company that's doing about $3 million in ARR. That's an incredible multiple.
Well, I think that we've proven before by building Goldmine and now with Nimble that we can execute in this marketplace. And I think what they're betting on is the future.
Yeah. And what'd you sell Goldmine for?
$125 million.
Okay, so see, I was going to ask you the question, which is what I would ask a new founder, so this wouldn't apply to you, but I'd say, do you ever worry about getting stuck under a liquidation preference on your Series A? Like if you got an offer for $40 million, it'd make you a multimillionaire, but you couldn't sell it because your valuation was 90. You're not worried about that because you already had a good exit. You're going for $1 billion home run now.
We're definitely going for a large exit with Nimble. And ultimately, I think that this market has a lot of room to run. Yep. If you think about it, Google went out and built the cloud productivity marketplace by building Google Apps for Work. But the thing is that Microsoft doesn't innovate, they iterate. And back in the day, there was a company called Novell that essentially owned network operating systems and that work group network business. And Microsoft came in and ate that company and ate that marketplace. And if you think about today, Microsoft Office 365 is dominating the email cloud productivity suite space. And it's just beginning because they've got billions of Office users. They only have 100 million Office 365 users. They've got hundreds of thousands of VARs. Today, they've got about 50,000 cloud CSPs, which means there's literally billions of people that are going to be adopting the cloud using things like Office 365 and G Suite. And all of those people are going to need a simple social sales and marketing system to layer on top of that. And Nimble, I believe, is positioned today to dominate in this space.
All right, guys, I talked about this earlier, but I schedule like so many meetings it would blow your mind. I mean, all my podcast interviews, right? Hundreds of entrepreneurs I talk to monthly. I schedule, and you know what? I do it so efficiently. I get them all to agree to my calendar, so all the calls are back to back to back. That means I'm not switching in between tasks all day long. I get them to batch so that I can be very efficient. It's so critical. I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling to do this at nathanlatka.com/schedule. It eliminates the back and forth between me and people I'm trying to meet with. It makes it very simple. And most importantly, they help me keep my no-show rate very low because they send out reminders. Helps you look very professional. So go to nathanlatka.com/schedule to sign up. And you get a great deal. You know, you guys know this. I hit people hard. I make great deals. And Gavin, the CEO, has given us a great deal. If you sign up like normal people, okay, on their website, you only get a 14-day free trial. If you use my link, nathanlatka.com/schedule, you get 45 days free. Okay, it's the best. It's free. Go to nathanlatka.com/schedule right now to sign up, and I'll see you there.
There you guys have it from John Ferrero. Let's wrap up, my man, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Think and Grow Rich.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I still admire Mark Benioff at Salesforce. I think that he really pioneered the cloud.
Number 3, is there a favorite, besides your own, is there a favorite online tool you have?
Buffer app.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I get about 8.
Okay, and what's your situation? Married, single, do you have kids?
Married, 3 kids.
Are young, or are they all above 10, or what?
So I've got a daughter who's 13. I've got a son who's 18, just got accepted at University of Pennsylvania School of Engineering.
Oh, good school.
And I got another son in Colorado studying business.
Oh, very cool. All right, and how old are you?
I'm 57.
All right, John, take us back 37 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Started business earlier.
Can you guys tell this guy loves what he does? If you're watching this on YouTube, where I'm posting all of these interviews now, John's a character. He's got a smile on his face. He's loving it. Again, crushing it with Nimble. Over $12 million raised, over 10,000 customers. Very healthy valuation on the Series A round when they raised $9 million. Sold less than 15% of his business. Churns around 3% monthly. Gross, again, that's healthy, I would say, for the SMB space for gross churn. Again, sitting on a rocket ship, and he's really perfected a single distribution channel, which I encourage you guys to do. John, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan. It's been a pleasure.
If you enjoyed John today, go back and listen to the king of Amazon pricing yesterday. He's raised $33 million and is helping over 500 of the best Amazon sellers make more money. It would mean the world to me if you guys got any value from this episode, if you would go leave a review on iTunes right now and then subscribe. You know, I hustle like heck to get these episodes out every freaking day for you guys, and trust me, I love it. I would do it with no listeners, but boy, oh boy, it makes my day and it makes my team's day when we see great reviews and get your feedback. So thanks so much. Okay, Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google, right, when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan.